final what we have learned from this social movements of our times. Finally, today we are going to sum up what we have learned today, what we have learned until today. So what are the features of the social movements? You have observed the civil rights movement, human rights movement, anti-war movements, anti-nuclear weapons movements, or environmental protection movements, or even the weaker sections movements. We have seen so many things. What did we learn until today? What are the main features? Let us draw together. What are the main features? First one is a true cause. Behind each and every movement, there is a true cause. There is a true cause. Second one is the non-violent resistance. Fourth one is no political party has mobilized this. It was mobilized by the victims or the sufferers and the democratic rights. They fought for the democratic rights. When a movement will arise in any area, when their expectations are not met by the government of that particular area, their expectations are not met, then only that movement will rise. They fought for a change. They fought for a change. So let us take one by one. You can assess by taking any one movement as an example. A question may appear in the examination. Explain the features of the social movements with the help of any one movement. Now let me take one of that particular movement and explain you all the reasons. What shall we take? You tell me what I should take as an example. Okay, let me take the Bhopal gas disaster. Bhopal gas disaster. Very fine. Okay, thank you. I will tell you about the Bhopal gas disaster. Bhopal gas disaster, this occurred, and due to that what happened? Many of the people in Bhopal, they died, first thing. Second thing is, not only that they have died, but they were not given even proper compensation also. What did the Bhopal gas disaster victims demanded? They have demanded that. First one is worldwide, whatever the standards are there for the compensation, that should be followed. Means the compensation should be according to the world standards. Second thing is the victims, whatever whoever have suffered, for those victims, medication should be given in a proper manner. Third thing, that is the company shall be compulsorily, it should be subjugated to the that is judiciary. Finally, fourth one is steps are to be taken to prevent any further such kind of incidents. Four demands were there from this Bhopal gas disaster. Definitely that is a true cause. They suffered, many of the people died, and that has a long run effect on the lives of the people, those are living not only in the city but also in the surrounding areas also. So definitely that should be taken up. So that is a true cause. What are the steps that they have taken? They did not take any violent actions against this Union Carbide company. They did not break the law. They have resisted this injustice, because when the compensation was not adequate, or even when the steps that are taken by the government was not satisfactory also, they did not break the law. They have taken up the protest in the form of the demonstrations. They wrote petitions, or they wrote the articles in the magazines, and they started asking for a legal compensation. So this non-violent resistance was also there. What is the third one? Worldwide sympathy. You remember, children, that is during this particular period, when this company, that is Union Carbide company, they have sold their company to Dow company. This Dow company, when it offered its sponsorship to the London Olympics, Then many of the countries, they wrote the letters to the Olympic Committee by saying that it is not justifying, it is not justifiable to take the sponsorship of the Dow company. Means what is that it is telling? It is telling very clearly that not only the people those are living in India, but also the people those are living all around the world also has supported such kind of actions which need to be protected. When it will happen? When there is really a strong reason, when really it is a thing to be think. So worldwide sympathy also would exist. The next one is there no single political party has been involved in mobilizing the people. The people, those who have participated, they voluntarily have come forward to present their reason, because they thought that it is not necessary to be motivated or to be mobilized. They started feeling that yes, this is correct, so I should go, I should fight. Means, of course, in this particular movement we can see the different political party members are activists or followers are there, but it is not politicized. It did not take the color of the politics. So no active involvement of any political party, no mobilization from any of the political parties, not influenced by the ideals of any of the political parties, but they have taken a step voluntarily, and in this particular movement they may belong to different political parties. Here they forgot all of their political differences, they forgot all of their racial differences, they forgot all of their caste discriminations, and they started uniting themselves to fight for a cause. So there is no political party influence. Next one is who have participated actively? Only victims are the sufferers. Only victims are the sufferers. Here the victims are the sufferers directly or indirectly. It may be directly the sufferers or it may be indirectly the victims. Due to this Bhopal gas disaster, what happened? Directly the people of Bhopal suffered. But if the same repeats in any of the continents, if the same repeats in any of the countries, if the same repeats in any of the cities, the effect is many-folded. The effect will not only take the lives but also cause the damage to the environment, and which is once again a very high disaster. Means directly or indirectly, those who will get affected in the future or those who are affected directly now, only those people have participated. Only those people have participated actively in mobilizing the people, or those who have participated actively were the victims or sufferers, directly or indirectly. So like this, that is the fifth point. Then the next point is, what did they fight for? They fought for democratic rights. They fought for their own legal rights. They fought for their own legal rights. If you take the case of the Bhopal gas disaster, everyone in the country has a right to life, a right to be protected, a right to have a secured life. Everyone has that particular right. Even the government cannot take away that particular right. And when their democratic right or legal right was hurt, they started demanding the right compensation. They started demanding the right and adequate representation. That means here we can see that why they have, what is the motto behind the struggle was to fight for the democratic or legal rights. So that is one more very important feature of the social movements. The next feature of the social movements is These social movements, when do they arise? They arise when their expectations on the government are not met. Means what? The Bhopal gas disaster victims, they expected that the government would provide them with sufficient amount of the compensation. The government would take necessary steps to prevent such kind of disasters in the future. The government would take a legal action against this MNC, like that they have expected, because they feel that their government shall take the responsibility of protecting themselves. But when it did not happen, the compensation is not sufficient, and the legal action is not also taken, because it is an MNC company. It is not easy to take the legal action. It is a version of the government. So they were hurt, means at the cost of the lives of the people, those are living in that, the government, they did not take any action. They did not take proper action, not any action. They did not take proper action which they have expected. That means their expectations are not met by the government. Their expectations are not met by the government. The people, they were hurt, and they started feeling that the government shall be forced or influenced to take such actions which will satisfy their demands. For that particular reason, they have taken the action of coming out to protest or showing their dissatisfaction. In this manner, when their expectations are not met with, definitely the social movements will arise. See children, the next one is, what did they fight for? They fight for a change. They fight for a change against discrimination. They fight for a change in the structure of the rights. They fight for a change against discrimination. They fight for a change in the outlook of the people. They fight for a change in the process of development. In the process of the development. So, these are the different features that are associated with the social movements. See children, just for exemplifying, I have used the Bhopal gas disaster, but you can utilize any of the movements. Any of the movements. It will satisfy all these features. It will satisfy all these features. So, these are the common features, whether the movements occurred in America or Europe or Africa or India or China, whatever it may be, wherever it may be, all the social movements, they have these common features. That is the reason social movements of our times. It is not the social movements of China, social movements of India, social movements of America. Social movements of our times that happen throughout the world, having the similarities, having the same features. So, these are the different features. What are the different features? True cause, non-violent resistance, worldwide sympathy, no influence of the political party, only victims or the sufferers have participated, democratic rights they have demanded, expectations are not met with by the government, they have taken up the actions, and finally they fought for a change. They fought for a change. Like this, the social movements have certain similarities or the common features. Now, you may get a doubt, madam, how these movements got the strength? Means voluntarily, without having any base, I want a chocolate, like that they have come out, or do they have any base? They have very strong base to resist. The democratic rights were asserted by the constitutions of their own countries. Even in India also, all the democratic rights were asserted with the help of the constitution. Means by quoting these, by looking on to these constitutional provisions, the people will get strength in demanding. Yes, you said that you will provide us with security, but you have violated, so we want this security. Means what? What the constitution has promised was not met with the government, hence these movements were launched demanding those constitutional rights. Now just for an outlook, just we will get some of the articles which will provide us with security and safety in our country. Let us look on to this. Let us look on to the different articles that are provided in our constitution, giving the democratic rights to us. Okay, what are the articles? Do you know what are fundamental rights? Right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, all these rights are there. All these rights are there. But these rights are also given in each and every right, very minute manner, where the equality should be given, where the freedom should be given. Like that the articles were framed. So let us look on to some of the articles which give a base for all these social movements. So let us look on to this Article 3. Article 3 of our constitution, it is providing the right to life, safety and security to all the people. Right to life, safety and security of the people. So now you tell me, which movement arose due to the violation of this Article 3? Very good. That is right to safety, security. Where it was there, the right to life, Meerababi movement, the safety, security and life of the people was in danger. So Article 3, we can observe that it was violated in the Meerababi movement. In the same manner, whatever it may be, that is Bhopal gas disaster, there also you can see the same article. There also you can see the same article. Greenpeace movement, not only in India, this also is associated. Of course, this is in India only, the constitutional rights, but even Greenpeace movement was also launched to protect the right to life, safety and security of the people only. When these nuclear weapons are tested under the water, it causes a damage to the environment and lives of the people, those are living in the coastal areas. So that Article 3, which promises the right to life, liberty, safety and security, we can see that it is very clearly giving strength to the movements. Now let us look on to the next article. What is the next article? Article 5. Article 5, it gives the protection against any torture or against any inhuman treatment or any criminal activities. Means here which particular movement is associated and which particular movement is strengthened with the help of this Article 5. Yes, Meerababi movement, because they are tortured or their inhuman activities were there in that Meerababi movement, or even we can see the same in that Adavallu Ekamaithe, that is Nellore Dobagunta incident, or even Bhopal gas disaster. Means you can see very clearly that in these areas they get the strength with the democratic rights that are provided by our constitution. Article 5. Article 5 guarantees the protection for us against any torture or inhuman activities or any criminal activities. Okay. And the next article is, that is Article 7. Article 7 of our country, our constitution, provides the equal protection in front of the law without having any discrimination. Equal protection under the law without any discrimination. Equal protection means what? Everybody are equal. Everybody are equal. Here you can't give the rights to only men and you can't deny the rights of the woman. Or you can't give the rights only to the well-off sections of the society, and you can't just deny the rights of the people, those who are displaced. For example, you take Narmada Bachao. Here, for the sake of the development of the industries or for the sake of the development of certain sections of the society, you are denying the rights of the people, those are living over there in that particular area. Means the displaced people, definitely they are discriminated against the development. So you can see very clearly that this article protects them. Article 7 gives them the strength to fight against such kind of discrimination. And the next one, you see that Article 9. Article 9, it clearly emphasizes that you have the protection against any kind of arbitrary arrest or detention. They are kidnapped or they are taken away without any reason. The people are having the right to question the authority of the army, the authority of the government, or even the authority of any of the people. Iram Sharmila, she has been house arrested. Means it is not actually a valid one. Now we are in detention. Now we are following that social distancing, or we are following the quarantine. Why we are following the quarantine? Why we are following the social distancing or isolation? It is to protect the interest of us only. Because if we go out, definitely we will be affected with these contagious diseases. So we should protect ourselves. So voluntarily we have to go into the quarantine, or voluntarily we have to go for the isolation. But here it is not the case. Like Iram Sharmila, it is not the case, same case. Iram Sharmila, she has a right to come and talk to all the people about the legal rights. But she was detained in her house only. Means she has the strength. She has the strength to fight against that arbitrary arrest or detention with the help of this article, that is Article 9, which gives her strength to fight against the arbitrary arrest or detention. And the next article that is there is Article 10. Article 10 provides every citizen to have a fair and impartial hearing in front of a judiciary tribunal. Means just simply without giving any explanation or without giving any justification, nobody can be punished in our country. Simply when you are walking on the road, you can't be picked up and thrown into the prison by saying that you are arrested, you are given the imprisonment for 4 years or 5 years. Not possible. Why? Because first of all, they should be given a very fair trial. Means what? You should be heard in front of a impartial tribunal. Means it should not be having any partiality. Means that particular person who is listening to you, he should not belong to the opposition party, or he should not be a person belonging to the opponent. Impartial person. That is the reason judiciary is completely separated from this executive or the legislature in our country. Our judiciary is independent and integrated judiciary, independent from the government, independent from the executive, independent from all these things. So we should be given an opportunity to present our case in a very impartial manner, to be heard by the tribunal. So that means the people of Gopalganj, the people of Narmada Bachao, the people of this particular Mira Pabi or Adwa Lekmaite, whatever it may be, they should be given a choice to present their case in front of an impartial tribunal. So Article 10 provides us that particular opportunity. And the next one is Article 12. Article 12 provides us the protection against any arbitrary interference into the personal or privacy areas are matters. Are matters. They should not, nobody should interfere into the privacy or personal matters. This Article 12 provides us with such kind of protection. In which case we can justify this? Which case we can justify this? We are living in our particular own given area, tribal people, in our own forest, in our own area, and arbitrarily they have interfered there by providing them that you please leave this particular area, we are constructing an industry, we are constructing a dam. What is that meaningless interference, arbitrary interference? That means before they construct a dam, before they construct an industry, first they should give the right compensation to the people those are living there, and first they should listen to them, then only they should take a decision. But arbitrarily you cannot interfere into the areas, personal areas of all the people. That right is provided under the Article 12. Article 13 provides us the freedom of movement, the freedom of residence, the freedom of leaving a country and going to foreign country and residing there. All these freedoms were also guaranteed. Children, here one small thing I wanted to tell you, that we are having all the rights, no doubt at all. We are given the protection in the form of these articles, but these are all subjected to certain limitations. Means we should use them only legally, but we can't use them for illegal purposes. We are given the right to freedom. So can we just right to freedom of movement, we can move. So just without taking the permission of the others, can we just intrude into the life of others, or into go and sit in the drawing room of another person, and if we say that our social madam told that we have the freedom of movement, I will sit here only. What they will do? They have the freedom of movement of their hands. Yes or no? So all the freedoms, all the rights are guaranteed to us when there is a true reason, when there is a valid reason, when they are legally guaranteed. That is what we should learn from this lesson, social movements of our times.